Hello, my friends. Welcome. My name is Drake, and this is Touching the Edge, and I'm so happy to be here with you today. I'm happy to be here with you because I'm interested in exploring the dimensions of how we get stuck in life, how we get blocked and can't seem to make progress. And there's so many different areas, and I'm interested in sharing with you my views, but I'm also interested in learning from you about yours. One of those that I think is really crucial is how easy it is for us to get into conflict in this time. It doesn't matter if you're on the highway or in the gym or anywhere. It might be even in your own family. And it's so easy. So many of us have a charge that's really ready to ignite at any moment. Sometimes it's my charge, sometimes it's yours. It doesn't matter whose charge it is. We all have different areas that we feel sensitive to. For me, one of those areas is if I feel disrespected by someone. It's easy for me to get into a conflict, or it has been easy for me to get into a conflict with someone if I feel that they're being disrespectful. One of the elements about being disrespected by someone, if you feel like you're being disrespected, that's often the case that they often feel disrespected by you. It reminds me of a song by Eminem, the rapper Eminem, Lose Yourself. In this song, he's talking about really working to achieve something in his life and using everything in his life as a propellant to achieve his greater dreams. In that song, he makes mention of a book by Stephen King that was also a miniseries called Salem's Lot. And he's in this miniseries, everyone in the town turns into a vampire except for two people. And he's talking about how important it is for him to get out of Salem's Lot. And so for me, that really equates to an image. It reminds me of how many zombie movies we have where all of a sudden the entire population turns into zombies. And so what I'm suggesting to you is that element of getting out of Salem's Lot is getting out of this perpetual sense of conflict that is so easy for us to fall into around our environment. Remember, there's an old saying, don't argue with a fool. And sometimes I think it's important for us to realize that sometimes the fool is us. Again, it comes back to that element. If you think that someone is irrational, is going to realize they're irrational, that means you're irrational. And if we get into a conflict, of course we feel like we're right about. If we get into a conflict, it may easily be you that's irrational or who is being foolish in that conflict, or maybe some combination of the two, but we don't deal well when we see someone else that we think is wrong. So part of getting unstuck is getting out of your head and recognizing that when you really feel a charge, that it's almost inevitable that you're going to be doing something that's not quite right in that interaction. You may be right, but it is possible to be right and wrong at the same time. So consider part of getting moving is losing yourself, losing that sense of ego, and letting go of conflict as soon as possible when you have one. Go back in your mind. What happened in that conflict? How did it get started? What did you do that helped to create the conflict? Learn from it and let it go. Just a suggestion. Please let us know what you would suggest. How do you deal with getting unstuck? How do you find ways of dealing with conflict? So, thank you for your time. And I'm so happy to be in a situation where we can learn from each other. Here we go. One of the most important ways of learning how to get unblocked, unstuck in this time, is learning how to deal with conflict, how to not get into conflict, but also how to manage it once you do get into it, and how to learn from it once you've gotten out of it. I bring my hands together and I bow to you. May we find a way to be at peace with each other. Namaste. Thank you.